everyone, Jessicann here. This is going to be my top essential items to keep in your car. I know last month I did a video on top things to check before you hit the road, and a couple of you wanted to see this video to know what are some not so obvious things you should have in your car at all times. So here we go. So my first essential item is actually a couple items, and that is just essential tools you should have in your car. The first one being jumper cables. Nowadays, there are actually a lot of companies that make these small, compact jump starter packs, and they kind of look like one of those portable phone chargers. This one here is from Rugged Geek. So you see here it has the connectors, and it's very simple. All you have to do is connect it properly to your battery. Check out my video for that. And press the power button and then go around and start your car. So it's super simple and really compact, so I would recommend just investing in one of these and keeping them in your car just in case. The next thing is just a couple of basic tools. Some of you might have a multi-tool, which is like a Swiss Army knife type thing, where it might come with some scissors and pliers and screwdrivers, things like that. I don't have one of those, so I just keep some basic small tools like a screwdriver. This one here is from the Humble Mechanic. I also keep some pliers, a small wrench, just some basic tools. You never know when something's gonna come loose under the hood and you're gonna need to tighten it. Next up are all the tools you'll need to change out a flat tire. I always assume that my spare tire is there and the spare tire kit is there if I need it, but it's always good to just go around and look and make sure that everything is in fact there and that you know where everything is and how to use everything. You wanna make sure the spare tire is there, the lug wrench, the jack. Make sure it's all there, so when you have a flat tire, knock on wood, that you're good to go. The next thing is kind of optional. I keep a couple just in case. They're zip ties. So I know you're wondering why would I need zip ties in my car, but there was one time I actually was helping a friend transport a car that was a bit damaged in an accident, and a part of the bumper was hanging off and scraping on the floor while I was driving. So I went out and I looked at it and I thought, darn, I really wish I had some zip ties. In case something comes loose off your car, maybe you didn't see a speed bump and you hit it really fast and something's dangling off the bottom. So keep a couple, they take up no room. The next tool is something that I actually didn't know about for a really long time, and I so wish I did because it could be really useful. It is a window breaker and seatbelt cutter. So this tiny tool here looks harmless. It can actually help you break your window or windshield in case you're stuck in your car after a bad accident, or say you drive off a cliff. I don't know. Please don't do that. But if you drove off a cliff and your car was filling with water and you couldn't open the door for some reason and your seatbelt was jammed, you're gonna need one of these. And you should make sure to keep it somewhere accessible to you. Maybe keep it in the middle console if you have one, or anywhere else that's near the driver's side. The next essential item is kind of an obvious one. It is a first aid kit. This item often goes overlooked, I feel, because I didn't keep one. I didn't ever think that I would need one. But it's really handy because if you did get into an accident and got a cut or something, you can, quickly put a Band-Aid on it or wrap it. It's also just good to have around in case of any boo-boos. If you go on a hike and you cut your leg on a twig, which would easily happen to me, then you have some Band-Aids readily available. The next item is a big bottle of water. No, not to drink, but actually to help your car if it is overheating. Case in point, I was in Ojai once. It was like 90 degrees out. My car decided it didn't want to stay cool, and so it started overheating. I ended up, finding an old bottle of water in my trunk and topping off my coolant with that, and it was enough to get me to a gas station to then buy some cheap coolant to refill. The next item is a flashlight. I know you're probably wondering why you need a flashlight if there's a flashlight on your phone, but we can't always rely on our phones, can we? Because what if your battery is dead and your car breaks down in the middle of the night? So it's always good to just keep a spare flashlight. They're small, affordable, so just do it. The next item is a tire pressure gauge. I know I talk about this darn item all the time, but only because it is so useful. I check my tire pressure pretty religiously because it really does make a difference for your fuel economy, tire wear, and just your overall safety. Unless you have a fancy car that tells you your tire pressure at the push of a button, it's always good to just keep a tire pressure gauge in your glove box. And last but not least, I talk about this item all the time as well. It is your owner's manual. Now, most of us keep this in our car already, but I would recommend going through and putting sticky notes or dog-earing a couple of the key pages So like your scheduled maintenance, maybe some fluid information, like what kind of oil you need or coolant. This is always good to just have handy, because how many times have you gone to get an oil change or went to the mechanic and they're like, ma'am, you need to change this, 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 and this. And this way you can bust out your owner's manual, flip to the right page and say, well, actually, for my car, it recommends changing it every X amount of miles. Those are my top essential items to keep in your car at all times. I know there are some obvious ones like Kleenex and hand sanitizer. I keep floss because I like to make sure my teeth are flossing. And also, I don't know, some other ones. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and please leave in the comments below what other kinds of videos you want to see. I will see you all next time. Bye!